right, here we go.
Here we go. We're probably definitely all right.
Yeah.
Are you ever flatting? There's a weak player in the big blind, I remember.
Yeah, I like these adjustments a lot. This is where we could say, first of all, even in GTO, you see some flat calling happening under certain circumstances with Ace King, not in ICM, also in Chip PV, especially with the offsuited combos. And I see your point here, right? You want to keep the variance small. You want to outgrind your opponents, right? You want to play small pots. If the money goes in, you want to have ace or kings. You want to have them dominated. So, and if there's a weak opponent in the big blind, I definitely like it. Like, you know, they might be calling too many offsuited king X, too many offsuited ace and or also queen X hands, which we don't mind. So I definitely see.
For me, especially coming from like a live background where say you're playing like a 5K main event, your whole there's no re-entry. Your whole strategy has to just be like play low variance and wait for somebody to punt off 100 big blinds to you.
Yeah.
And so the better the structure and the softer the table, the lower variance you want to be playing.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Now, some people might wonder, that's not the Charlie Carrel I know. You know, we all see these crazy hands, but you also need to distinguish between a soft tournament and a 25K tournament where you just battle with a lot of wrecks and you have to take more marginal spots, right? Or how do you see it?
Yeah, it's the most frustrating thing when I have memories of sitting like a 5K main and a reg just starts 3-betting me loads in position or out position against me. And multiple times I've just said like, hey brother, look around. I'm not the person you want to be 3-betting and playing a big pot with. I promise. I'm going to start playing back. I will, because I can't let you keep doing this. But I don't want to play a big pot against you. You don't want to play a big pot against me. Let's just try and enjoy this ride together, because there's like 7 recreational players around.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wouldn't say it that explicitly so everyone else heard it like that, but it's like that kind of concept that you don't want to be playing big pots against good players when they're capable of making, you know, good calls and playing well.
Yeah, that's a big issue for a lot of players, especially when they try to move up. It feels like, yeah, I need to outplay now the high stakes tracks. I'm like, no, there's still a bunch of weak opponents. You want to focus on that. It's not who has the biggest dick on the table. And that's unfortunately a problem for a lot of players.
All right, so he checks. And how are you playing your betting range here?
I just look at my hand. I see I have top pair, top kicker. I ask myself, how many streets of value do I have? What does he do with queens, jacks, 1 diamond? What does he do with ace 10, ace and diamonds? Does he call 2 bets? Even big bets? Yes, I bet big flop, I bet big turn, and I check back the river.
Yeah. So usually I'd bet here, and I think I checked. And I'm not 100% sure why I checked, honestly.
He can have like king nine in clubs, you know, pot control. You can have loads of bluffs perceived,
like
right?
He can have so much stuff like 7s with a diamond that are going to be full.
Yeah.
I think I was probably just going for like a check back, bet big turn, and then bet big river.
Even jack, and I think if people have jack 10 and hearts, you're just supposed to pure fold that against the step, because everything that we're betting just has so much equity, and you're drawing that against the value hand. So I think if you bet half pot or like 2/3 pots, people are like, I call once, you know, you can have ace queen, ace jack, but like, yeah, but even that has a lot of equity. Or you bluff with pocket 4s, 1 diamond, or these kind of hands. So
would you bet something like 2/3 on the flop?
Yeah,
I'd bet like a quarter.
Yeah, but again, I just want to, like, how much value does my hand have? And also the fact people do not make reasonable folds, even if they have queens without a diamond. I think they call once. There are just so many hands that you're supposed to fold, they call once regardless. And
I like your strategy as well. I think I can see arguments for both.
Yeah.
Personally, I like to in these kind of spots because people play so face up. If you stab a quarter here, there's no way they're check calling like ace queen of diamonds anymore. They're just like, okay, fuck it, I raise.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it makes sense.
What I like to do is I like to cap my opponent's ranges a lot, and then just go bigger on later streets. And it's weird as well as like an overall macro strategy against regs. Playing a small betting range on flops, it really lowers the variance in comparison to like if you take some spots and like Jack 10-3 button versus big blinds, GTO is going to tell you to 2x pot that flop a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas if you take a higher betting frequency with a smaller bet size, in the long run, you just play really low variance, and then that helps with the ICM things.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, we probably generate the same amount of value if you go for small bet flop and then you go for the pot over bet on the turn. Like I go 2/3 pot to turn and flop, and at the end of the day, we're going to be making the same amount of money, right? And you might gather more information because you know, since you bet small, he's never going to have the nut flushes in his range. You could potentially then maybe on a safe river go for another value bet because you know he's never going to have these small flushes or these flushes in his range, right? So again, here, this is just a matter of.
And again, it's a spot where I'd usually call, but something just felt a bit value about his timing. So I was like, I'm a field player at heart. So
I think he can value bet king jack, king queen maybe. We just bet so many diamond hands. Like the problem is the way our range looks like. We don't have many offsuit combos. We don't have ace 10, ace in diamonds, or queen 10, queen in diamonds, right? But we have all the ace 10, queen 10, jack 10 combos. And so if he has like an ace king or king queen or he could just block bet against that.
Yeah, I agree. And honestly, I know in the moment I wasn't thinking about king 10, king jack, king queen. So I can see this definitely being a call. But he just bet so quickly that I was just like, a bluff at least thinks about what size to go there, in my opinion.
If you're enjoying the way that I'm speaking about poker, teaching poker, I do have a website, charliecarrel.com. Link is in the description below. You'll find on there a mindset masterclass, which I think is the most important, teaching you how to deal with tilt, anxieties, ambition, things like that. You'll find a poker masterclass completely teaching you how to restructure the way that you think about poker. And you'll find a complete archive of the bankroll challenge.